remake of Stephen King's It was released in September 2017, and we couldn't wait to see it. And if you are a fan who already read the book, you probably noticed some things that the others will never see. If not, we're here to tell you what you missed. Make sure you watch this video until the end to see what the end of the movie revealed about what is coming next. Follow us! We have fun secrets hiding down here. If you love horror movies as much as we do, don't forget to subscribe and please give this video a big thumbs up. Today we are showing you small details in It that only true fans noticed. The original clown. Stephen King's It was a success since 1990, and the movie was also followed by a TV miniseries. As soon as we watched the trailer, we knew that some things were going to be really similar. A boy gave a boat to his little brother, and he put on his raincoat to play outside under the rain. Unfortunately, the boat was swept into a storm drain, and this is when the little boy saw the clown Pennywise and disappeared. However, you will notice that the clown was a little different this time, even if he was in the dark. That's because the new director, Andy Muschietti, reimagined him differently, and he is even more terrifying. We didn't forget the original clown, and Andy remembers him too. This is why you can see Tim Curry's Pennywise in one of the most memorable scenes in the film. When Richie is trapped in a room full of clowns in the house, one of the dolls is clearly modeled after the original Pennywise, and he is right there at the left of the screen. Don't worry if you didn't see it the first time, you can still be a fan of the movie. We had to watch it a second time to really pay attention to the dolls during this terrifying moment. The 80s shirts. You really need to be a fan of Stephen King to see all the references in the movie, and this time you'll have to look at the shirts of different characters. The most obvious reference to a movie was even seen in the trailer. Can you guess what the car with razor-sharp teeth on Eddie's shirt is? It is Christine herself from another Stephen King movie. You can also see Bill wearing a Tracker Brothers t-shirt. If you read the novel, you know that it is a local shipping company based in the fictional town of Derry. In the novel, this is where the adult Eddie first sees the new Pennywise. Some fans also think that Richie's Freeze's shirt is a reference to Stephen King's real-life home, as the company really existed. But there is one last shirt that only the biggest horror fans could see. Just take a look at Belch Huggins wearing a shirt featuring the band Anthrax with the words "Follow Me or Die" in the back. These are actually the lyrics from the song Among the Living, which the band wrote about The Stand, another book from Stephen King. And we heard that we could see more 80s shirts paying homage to movies like The Shining, Carrie, and Pet Sematary. Make sure you tell us where they are if you can see it. The fears. In the movie, we understand that all the members of the Losers Club have phobias the Pennywise preys upon. If you read the novel, you know that this is why it likes to terrorize children by taking the form of old Universal movie monsters. It includes the Wolfman, Frankenstein monster, the creature from the Black Lagoon, and the Mummy. However, as the movie was set in the 80s instead of the 50s, some of these fears had to be adapted to this decade. Director Andy Muschietti said that many of these monsters wouldn't appear in the movie and will be replaced by new forms. That's because he wanted to make the terrors surprising, even for those who have read the book. But it seems like he changed his mind because we can see these monsters for a moment in the movie. For example, you can see that the creature does briefly attack Ben in the form of the Mummy during the Losers' final battle, as a reference to the novel. But that's not all. If you have ever been wondering what Richie's personal fear was, you might be surprised to learn that it was actually revealed not only in the movie but also in the trailer. Don't you think that Pennywise's hand is a little hairy? That's because Richie is afraid of werewolves and it takes his form. The balloon. The red balloon is something that we immediately recognize when Pennywise is nearby. Something so innocent shouldn't be so threatening, unless you know what is coming next. Whether it is in a classroom, next to an abandoned house, or in a car, we have never been so terrified of something so childish and so simple. However, this balloon is more complicated than what you might think. When Patrick was lured by Pennywise and saw the red balloon, you could read the phrase, "I heart dairy." If you didn't understand it, you are not the only one. And no, the scary clown didn't mean that he liked to live in this town. It is actually a reference to the novel. In the second chapter of the book, a gay man named Adrian Mellon passed away when he was the victim of a homophobic hate crime at the Dairy Carnival. There was I Heart Dairy merchandise everywhere, and he was wearing an I Heart Dairy hat when he took his last breath. You won't be happy to hear that it was even inspired by a real crime. But anyway, Patrick himself is a closeted homosexual in the novel, and this could be a way to show that these similar characters won't be alive for a long time. So beware, next time you see a red balloon coming out of nowhere, Pennywise might be watching you. The Last Losers. After being terrified for 2 hours, we couldn't believe that it was already the end of the movie. This time, the losers were standing in a circle holding hands, and they swore that they would come back to Derry as adults if Pennywise came back. And if you closely paid attention to who left the circle first, you might already know what is going to happen in the sequel. The first one to leave is Stan, and if you read the book, you know that he is the first one who ends his life. Then there's Eddie, who will pass away in the final battle with the creature. At least Bill and Beverly will be happy to hear about that because they were the last two to leave the circle. But we will have to watch the sequel to know if this theory was right. If you read the novel, you know that the first line of the story hints that Pennywise might still be alive. But Pennywise swore that he would never write about him again because the character is too scary, even for him. So that means that all we could have left is another movie. Are you a fan who noticed another small detail in the movie? Don't be shy to tell us what it is in the comments section down below. We love to hear what you think. And that's it for small details in It that only true fans noticed. For more stories like this, make sure you watch 10 Cartoon Secrets Finally Revealed. Thanks for watching and see you next time.